Okay, welcome. So, in this video, I'm going to answer a question somebody asked. They said, I was trying to create a split part. The schematic symbol is created in 9 parts. It is the AllWinner processor. I can place it in the schematic sheet with the assigned footprint, but I couldn't link it successfully to the BGA PCB footprint. Okay, pin numbers not matching with the footprint. Pin numbers are correct on both sides. Please create a split part. Give me a solution. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and do it. I found an example BGA package, whatever this is. I don't really know what it is, but we're going to use it and build it in OrCAD. Let's see here. So I see from this thing we have these pins and the names. Now I'm not going to put in all the exact names here. I'm not going to do that, but that's a general idea. And also notice this pin 1 index, right? So there's that footprint. Yeah. And this is 64 pins over here. It goes counterclockwise for the pins. Yeah. All right, but we want to break this up into 9 parts. So let's go ahead and do it. Go to OrCAD Capture, and this is the view. Now I'm using 17.4. This will work at 17.2 as well. Start a new project. We have a BGA project and whatnot. Now we also need a part library. So let's go ahead and create a new library. That would be under here. Go to File, New Library. And this library is called library1.olb. You can do a new symbol here. I will save this library as BGA, something like that. And then instead of the Allegro folder, I will put this in my project folder. Let's see, projects. That would be under BGA, right? Save. Let's make a part. So right click on the library. Let's see here. New part. Name we'll just call it generic BGA. PCB footprint, BGA. You could call it 64 pins if you want. Sure, 64. Multi-part package, yeah. Parts per package. So what does the package thing mean? Package refers to this entire physical device. This is the package, and it's a BGA package. Okay. I'm copying the manufacturer part number in advance because I'm going to use this. Let's go back here. So parts per package refers to the different sections for the schematic. Schematic parts is what it's talking about, that we're going to visually see on the schematic. So I might split it into 9 parts that will go into my schematic, each having about 7 pins thereabout, and they will all combine to make one physical package. They're just represented as separate parts on the schematic, right? So parts per package 9. Homogeneous or heterogeneous? Yeah, for the package type. I don't even remember what this means, really. But 1 second here. So we'll go with heterogeneous. Part numbering will be alphabetic, and click OK. Heterogeneous because at least one of these parts is not going to look like the others, right? Okay, next we have things you can add, like I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but there are a number of things you can put in here. Part number being one of them, and that's where you put in your manufacturer part number. Comes in handy during PCB layout. There's a bunch of other things you can put in here, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, so now let's zoom out with O. Notice how we have A, B, C, D, E, all through I to represent the sections that we want to break up this part into. And they're all going to be boxes. So we have PA0 through PA6, right? So let's go ahead and do that. First of all, we'll place our pin. You can do a pin array as well. So let's start with the pin array. And you can say start name PA0. Oh, okay, PA. And then starting number 0. Number of pins, 7. Pin spacing, 1. Shape, line, passive. Let's do a short. Pin visible, yeah. Pin number increment for next pin, sure. Pin number increment for next section, tricky. It's not there. Click OK. And we paste it right there. And yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So I was supposed to put like a 0 in front or something like that. Each of the names need to be unique. Okay, great. And when you do that, you just do like a Shift R and you can place a rectangle. Make sure that big dot shows up. Place your part, you place your rectangle. Drag your bounding box in, and there you go. For the value, it could be whatever you want. I'd just do the part number if you feel like it. It's whatever. Or you can say it's part 1, or better yet, you can even name the function. You can call this the PA side of the thing, whatever PA stands for. So if you go here, you can say, I don't know, PA section. Great. Do a Control S to save that. Control N as in nuclear to move to the next part or section. Continue in a similar fashion. So let's do it again, right? What do we have next? IOVDD. Well, what I can do is start from pin 9. So PC0 through... Wait, what? PC0 through PC5? Sure. Place pin array. Notice how it automatically wants to do the thing. I'll say, just call it section 2. Or, you can just call it whatever. Just call it PD from now on, and then we'll just name all the pins that way. Pin spacing will be 1, short, passive. Click OK. The numbers aren't going to make sense because I'm just haphazardly like putting them together, but it's whatever. Just name them properly for your application. Same deal. You can even go to a previous part, right? And then Control C and then Control V, your rectangle, to draw it. Now I'll show you something else really cool. Save that. Do a Control, actually wait a second. Get value, call this section 2 or something, right? Whatever. Do a Control A to, and then Control C to copy, and then just Control V, boom. Then change whatever you need to change. Call it section 3. Now, you have to be very careful when you're copying. You're copying everything exactly how it is. So now you need to change everything. So really in that way, that's not the fastest way. It might be the other way we were using. But what you can do is select all the pins, choose Edit Pins, and then it'll pull up the pins specific to this part. again, this part C is just one of 9 parts that represent the entire package. Part would be equivalent to a section, and we're talking about schematic part, not physical, like, device. Okay, so PD14, you know, you can even try to, look at that. That's not bad, but I think you can actually pull up an Excel spreadsheet or something, right? And then do like a Control-C to copy that. Select all these, then Control-V to paste. Easy. Clean. Nice. 14. Right, so 14 through 21. Control-V. Section C, pin number. Not bad. I don't know why this is still red, but sure. Interesting. Alright. Section C order. That's fine. Pin ignore. Nope. Pin group. No, I won't group them. Make sure you click apply. You have to click apply. If you just click OK, it's not going to work for some reason. I have no idea why. Right. There we go. And then you can just keep doing that. So let's skip ahead, shall we? Okay, so I placed most of the pins, and I can just copy these two by selecting them while holding down the Control key and changing them. So now with this pin, I'm going to select the pin itself and change the number to pin number 63. Right, hit tab, and then go here, change that to pin number 64, hit tab, 64 tab. Very nice. Okay. We also have the section names. So I call this what section? Well, section 1. Okay, and for the last section we have section 9. Great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Alright. Now that we have this, right click, save your part, and then you can close it. Now save your library if it's not saved already, and we have the BGA 64 part. Go to place part, and by default your library that you place here added to your project is going to be loaded in this library list. So you want to double click on it. Well, before you double click on this, you can select it, look at a preview of the part that it's part of the bigger package, right? And then you can select it based on whatever you need. And if you hover your cursor over here and scroll down or whatnot, you can change the part. Okay, so let's start from A, and you can place it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then once it's placed the last part of this entire package, these 9 parts constitute one package, you can start placing it over again. U1A through U1I. Now we have U2A through U2I. This is the equivalent of 2 of these parts. 2 of these devices, 2 of these packages. Okay, now let's do the footprint. Okay, go to File, New, Package Symbol Wizard, BGA 64. This is the most generic name ever, but it's fine. And I'm going to make a folder within my project folder called Symbols. Open. Click OK. No compatibility mode for the new design. I'm just going to keep it in 17.4. Do I want a dual inline package, SOIC, PGA or BGA? This is good. Click Next. Default cadence template? Sure. Next. Do I want to go with mils or millimeters? So this information I would get from the layout. Or the PCB footprint. Yeah, and then the pins aren't exactly, see, that's a whole crazy sort of thing. I'm just gonna, for the sake of time, I'm not going to define it like how it is exactly here. I will just treat it as a general BGA package. And as far as the pitch and everything for the pins, the spacing between the pins, I'm not worried about it. We'll just go with the default. Reference designator prefix, hit Next. Vertical pin count, MD, full matrix. Arrangement for pins in this matrix. Okay. You can have however many core rows you want, you know. Let me see here. Perimeter matrix. Yeah. How many outer rows do we have? Might as well get it kind of close to it, right? So three outer rows and columns. Total number of pins. So vertical pin count, MD, that would be, what do we got here? A through N, so it's 14. Wait a second. HI, so see? I is missing. Gotcha. So it's actually 13. So now when we have our thing, total number of pins, 120. Crazy, 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 crazy. So a number of these pins get reused, right? Honestly, I'm not even trying to do all that. Like, let's just go full matrix and yeah, because no, I'm not trying to do, no thanks. So 64, what's the square root of 64? 16 by 16? Wait, what is the square root of 64? Does it even have a square root? Oh, right, 8 by 8. So you can change this to 8 and then 8. Great. 64. Hit Next. Number right, letter down. Sure. Number right, letter up. Oh. Yeah, that's cool. That follows the footprint layout. JEDEC standard. Yeah, that's good. Pad number with zeros. No. Horizontal dimension EH. Really? Okay. That EH is from pin to pin, the center from one pin to the next pin. Vertical dimension EV pin to pin. Good. Package width. Sure. We'll go with the default for speed's sake. Default pad stack for symbol pins. This pad would be used for whatever your ball grid array, you know. Let's go with BGA pad. I don't even know what that is, but we'll see what happens. Center of symbol body, create a compiled symbol. Sure. Oh, wait a second. Pin number. Select the location of symbol origin. Yeah, center body. That's fine. Yeah. So that's how that would be done. No match found for the begin or end pad layer. Not sure what that means, but let's look at the 3D view of this. In any case, you want to make sure your pads, let's see, let's bring up the color wheel, turn everything on. And we have components, no. Stack up, conductor, pins. It bothers me that the pins didn't show up. What? Do we even have pad stacks in this? No, we don't. It's crazy. Fine. What you can do is do a layout pins and then choose your pad stack, and then I don't know why BGA pad didn't show up, but it is what it is. And then you place your pads, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to redo this footprint. 1 second. Be right back. Okay, we are back. So I remade the symbol, and what you want to do is change the name of the text, like change the text. So you right click. Yeah. So let's go to edit text, and you go here and you edit it and you call it PD1, PD2, and then you keep going that way. Okay, and I'm not gonna finish naming the rest of these, it's gonna take too long, but the gist of it is that you name all these pads the same names that you give to the pin numbers and pin names, preferably. Pin names specifically, yeah. Right, so PA0, PD7, PD, and all that stuff, okay? And then, see, I didn't even do PA0, but just match the names of the pins with the names of the pads. The pins on your schematic, match them with the pads on your footprint. Once you do that, get the name of this footprint, BGA 64, right? Go back to your schematic. Now, here's the thing. There are two ways to add the footprint to your part. First of all, I would actually add it to the part itself. So I would right click on the part, edit part. And then go in here, PCB footprint. Actually I already named it that, so that's great, which means it already has the footprint attached to it. But let's say it didn't. You would actually go in here, you know, and then I think you right click, edit the properties. And then you can associate, you can call it like BGA 65 or something. Let's say you change your mind. You want it to save it. This action will apply changes made in property editor to design. Okay, yeah, sure, let's go ahead. Now here's the thing. If we do that for that part, let's see what happens if we double click on this part and look at its properties. It still has the PCB footprint BGA 64. So you need to change the footprint for each of the schematic parts that are part or sections of the full package. And that just gets messy and complicated. So even though this is a way to associate the footprint, the better way is to edit the part in the library and then replace the parts back from your library into the schematic. Or if you want, you can do something else. You can go to the design cache, right click, update your cache and everything, update selected pins in the designated cache, sure. Let's see if there's anything you get here. That's still BGA 65. I would get rid of it. or you can right click the part in itself on the schematic. That becomes its own new part. That becomes its own new part if you change anything. Okay, so it can get complicated, but the best way is just get rid of everything, place your refreshed library part, and then you click and place the things. Then when you try to place it in PCB editor, you would go to PCB new layout, Allegro BGA, click OK. Pin number 0 found on pin PA0 package 0. Pin number should be greater than 0. So there's this thing. When it talks about package BGA 64A, let's take a look at that. Pin number 0. See, that's the problem. What I would do is go in here, right click, edit part, delete this or whatever. I'm still going to get a different error with the footprint thing, but we'll see. I'm going to right click, update cache. See? And notice how the parts got updated too, including this first part. Now when I try to do new PCB new layout, it's going to complain about something else, that the footprint names don't match. When I try to place the part, let me show you. Go to place components manually. It shows up, but when I try to hide it and place the part, it doesn't place. Pin number do not match between symbol and component. Run dev check. Yeah, so that's really just because I was too lazy to make the pin numbers the same, but it will work. Okay, it will work. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, leave your comments below. But that's the whole process of how you properly make your schematic part, make a footprint for it, match the pin names on these pins here with the pad names here. Okay. Alright, this is your pin. Make sure it matches. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching.